hands. How a certain way of looking at our hands can help us be more compassionate to ourselves. This may sound weird, but just hold on. It's really hard to be compassionate towards ourselves for some of us. I think for many of us. And that's an interesting thing, because I think compassion is when you're looking at someone else and you're seeing their humanness and their personness. You know, you have this attitude towards that person of, I see your pain and I see that you're human and you're allowed to feel that pain and I feel you. And this empathy, the base for it has to be a sort of connection, like a sort of ability to relate to the pain of the other person. We don't blame them for experiencing this pain, and we feel warmth towards them. And that's what we want to feel towards ourselves. But this is really hard to do. And I think that one of the reasons that is because it's really hard for us to take that one step backwards and see ourselves as actual people and actual human beings, just like other people, because we're so close to this experience. It's really hard to be an observer like it is when we look at someone else's pain and we see them from the outside. And we see how okay it is that they feel this pain. And I think it's because of the fact that we're so close to our experience and it's hard to take a step backwards. When I feel self-compassion, I feel like I have a split personality. I feel like it's like me looking at my life and at this person named Dana, 21 years old, that has been through so much, and just, you know, remembering her experiences and really feeling warmth towards her and feeling like, oh, like I really feel your hardships and I can see that you're struggling and I'm sorry, and I also see like all the wonderful things, why I love you for them, and it's a really amazing feeling because I really know myself. We all know ourselves. We've been through life with ourselves each moment. And if we can look at that from a different perspective, like from an observer point of view, then we can really feel this deep love. And that's an amazing experience. And it's, you know, little by little, but it's really like a deep experience. The observer that's feeling all these warm feelings and looking sort of from the outside at the person. And I'm both of them. A tool that has been helping me, it's kind of like an arrow, like an anchor, is looking at my hands. And, you know, I look at my hands and they look to me very innocent. And I feel like hands have a special quality, at least we can choose to see them that way, which is that they have this like innocent look, kind of like an animal, in the way that animals in nature they're just doing their job, and trees are growing, and the lion is hunting, and they all just do what their natural instincts tell them. And us humans, it's harder for us. Our thoughts are really trying to plan things, and it's really hard for us to just do. But I feel like our hands, they have this certain quality that is kind of like that. It's like in the person, they're the doer without the thinking. They're just the pure doing. And that's one quality that I see. They help me look at myself from the outside and show me my actual deep intentions in an innocent way. Our hands are mini versions of us. When we want to look at ourselves from the outside, feel this compassion, we can look in the mirror and we can look at our face and our eyes and say hi. But oftentimes it can feel like it's kind of hard to be that observer about it. And also it can be a little bit too personal. Eyes and your face have this very, very strong personal quality. And then when I look at my hands, they're a little bit less personal. But then also I can see the inherent humanness of myself. The motives behind my pain, my innocence, they have been with me for my whole life. Since I was born, since I was little, they held things, and they were here when I started writing in first grade, or took a pencil for the first time. Then when I started typing or driving, they were here in my first sexual encounter. They oftentimes try to do things like we try to draw something and then they get it wrong. They try to reach for things. They do everything. And they're the ones that do. You can see the humanness in them, and you can see how much they've been through and also how much they just kind of want to be loved. I saw this YouTube video of a psychologist, I'll link it down here, about compassion and self-compassion, and he talks about the fact that we all just want to be loved. And I think that that's a really beautiful way to look at things, because a lot of what we do just comes from that. And for me, like when he said that, I was looking at my hands and I was like, wow, yeah, that's really what I want. And we all do. By looking at our hands this way, it helps us to see our humanness. This is the biggest part of it. It's very like physical, like this is me. I mean, this is my body. And when you want to feel compassion towards yourself, you want to be able to look at yourself and see the rawness and the humanness in you and say that it's okay to be as you are. So I can look at them and think of myself and think of how human it is. Everything that I'm going through. Everything. Even the thoughts about like that I don't want to be going through this. It's so human. Everything that we're going through. So I hope, oh, yeah, and I wanted to say that it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Sometimes it's not that obvious to see beauty in things like this. Sometimes it also doesn't really make sense, and that's okay. This is just one way to see beauty in what is, because they I really hope that this struck some sort of chord in your heart. Maybe you'll see something in the world and think, that's beautiful, because it's just so human. They just want to be. They just like want to rest and be them, be hands. And just like us, we also just want to be us. Thank you for watching, and it would really be helpful if you would subscribe and like this video. And I wish you much love. I'm gonna go swing dancing now.